Are you considering following a food elimination diet, but worried about what you're going to eat, or concerned that you're going to experience cravings that are going to throw you off track? If so, then watch this video to learn how to deal. And if you experience acne or other breakouts on your skin, if you experience anxiety, stress, or digestive disturbances, then hit the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video every week about how to live with better health and more happiness. If your body is giving you signals that something's going on in regards to your health, and if you think that your diet may be making things worse or causing painful or aggravating symptoms, then a food elimination diet may be the next course of action for you. A food elimination diet eliminates most of the common aggravating foods out of your diet. Things like wheat and gluten, dairy, soy, eggs, peanuts, sugar, even things like potatoes, tomatoes, and bananas are off the list. Now this can feel extremely daunting because it eliminates a majority of foods that you may commonly eat on a day-to-day basis. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what you can eat and how to make it feel easy. I also have some recipes below that you can download to get started. Now, why would you want to follow a food elimination diet? Well, if you're experiencing symptoms such as your skin breaking out in acne or rosacea or eczema, or if you're experiencing digestive disturbances like painful bloating or gas, constipation or diarrhea, indigestion or heartburn, or if you're experiencing stress or anxiety, irritability, or brain fog, then your gut may have a huge role to play in how you're feeling. And what may have happened is that your gut lining may have become so irritated that it is no longer able to do its proper job of keeping things out of your general circulation that shouldn't be getting through, leading to a condition called leaky gut syndrome. Now, if you want a really detailed description of leaky gut syndrome and how it works, then watch my video on that topic that's posted below. Otherwise, here is a quick lowdown of what's going on. However, the gut lining is also very sensitive to being damaged by our modern lifestyle and diet. There's like taking antibiotics, taking repeated doses of anti-inflammatory drugs such as Tylenol, ibuprofen, or aspirin, eating a lot of refined foods, so this is things like white flour and bread products, as well as chemicals in the environment, and other types of irritating foods like sugar and damaged oils, gluten, and wheat, which can aggravate and damage the gut lining. Now these all irritate the gut lining and the protective barrier starts to weaken. There are microscopic holes within the gut lining that are intended only to let through nutrients to pass through into your general circulation. However, when it weakens, these microscopic holes begin to expand and all sorts of things that are not supposed to get through, like those harmful microbes and bacteria and food particles, get through and start to get into your general circulation. And when this happens, our body sees those as foreign invaders that need to be eliminated. And this starts the process of inflammation. So to rid the body of these perceived invaders, the body sets up an inflammatory reaction to contain the invader and eliminate it. To do so, it sets off the immune system that creates antibodies to those food particles or other invaders. And this can lead to food sensitivities, because your body is becoming sensitive to foods that you're ingesting, and every time that you eat that particular food, then it creates an inflammatory reaction in your body that then aggravates your health condition. And if you have a leaky gut, then this is happening on a regular basis. And this is where food comes in. By eliminating the top aggravating foods from your diet, it allows time for your gut lining to heal and start to close up because it's not constantly being irritated by the food that you're eating. Now, eliminating these common aggravating foods, things like wheat and dairy, gluten, and even things like peanuts and nightshade vegetables like potatoes can feel daunting. You may wonder what there's left to eat. So now I'm going to share with you a variety of foods that you can eat and enjoy and that will keep you satisfied for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. So let's talk breakfast. Now many of you may be in the habit of stopping by your local cafe or bakery to pick up your breakfast items on the way to work. Maybe things like bagels or muffins or a croissant. But these are all filled with wheat, and so on a food elimination diet, this would no longer be an option. So what do you do instead? Well, there are lots of options for breakfast. Things like porridges, smoothies. If you tolerate eggs, you can have eggs. You can have gluten-free muffins or toast as well. And you can even go on the wild side and try things like a skillet green. I'll get to that later. First, let's start with porridge. Now, many of you think of porridge and you think, oh, just oatmeal. But there's a lot of other grains that you can use to eat as well. Things like millet and quinoa and amaranth are all great porridge, gluten-free breakfast. And you can jazz it up with different fruit and nut combinations to make things interesting. So things like different berries, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, cherries are wonderful. You can try pear and spices, cinnamon and nutmeg, or apples, or even peach mango might be an option for you. And then try different nuts. Almonds, walnuts, hazelnuts are all wonderful. And then also add in some seeds. Hemp seeds or chia seeds or flax seeds are wonderful for getting in some more fiber into that meal. Now I mentioned the nuts and seeds because you want to make sure that each of your meals contains protein, and adding in nuts and seeds is a great way to include protein in your breakfast, especially if you're having a porridge. And just because sugar is off the limits, it doesn't mean that you have to enjoy your meal without any sweetness. So you have the fruit to provide sweetness, you have some spices to provide sweetness, and then you can also add in some things like stevia or monk fruit or xylitol to add additional sweetness, because these are all no calorie or low calorie and they don't aggravate your gut lining. Now, if you're making porridge out of something other than oats, you may also want to make it into a non-dairy milk. Add some richness and creaminess to your porridge. And to make it quick, you can cook your grain the night before and then just have that ready in the morning. All you have to do is add in your fillings and heat it up and you're good to go. Breakfast is done in 5 minutes. Now, what else is there? Smoothies are also another great breakfast option. They're quick, they're easy to eat, and they can be made nice and easily while adding in nutritious fruit, nutritious protein as well, and some good amounts of fiber. So what's the ideal ratio for making a protein smoothie? Now, I always recommend adding some greens to your smoothie as well. So add in 1 cup of greens, 2 cups of fruit, and then a scoop of protein powder. You can also omit the protein powder and add in things like a nut butter and lots of seeds instead. Hemp seeds are great for protein. You can add in then chia seeds and flax seeds, one or the other, for some fiber. And add in again some additional sweeteners through stevia, monk fruit, or xylitol if you want it a tad sweeter. Now you can also make your own gluten-free muffins, and here you're going to want to make sure that you make them yourself, because commercial muffins are almost invariably going to have sugar in them, and this is what you want to make sure that you're avoiding on your food elimination diet. But you can sweeten your own muffins with the sweeteners I've mentioned previously, as well as with applesauce and pear sauce and fruit. Now, gluten-free toast is also an option for breakfast, but you're just going to want to make sure that it doesn't include items like sugar or potato starch in it. But you can then spread it with some nut butter and maybe some applesauce, or a combination that I really enjoy is nut butter, sliced cucumbers, and a little bit of salt. And then for protein, you can add in protein powder mixed with a non-dairy milk, or maybe add in some fruit to that as well for some sweetness. Now, I also have a cookbook that I've created that's full of breakfast recipes, and a lot of these are perfect for a food elimination diet. They have recipes that are dairy-free and gluten-free and sugar-free so that they can keep you going. If you're interested in checking out that cookbook, then I've provided the link below. Next, on to lunch. Now, often lunch is filled with wheat in our sandwiches or wraps or pasta or burgers. So what are you going to eat if wheat and gluten are not allowed? Well, there are still lots of options. One great option is a combination of a salad with a protein. So you make a beautiful big salad with shredded carrots and beets, your favorite lettuce mix, and then you add in some protein into the mix. So that could be chicken, it could be chickpeas or other beans. Add in some hemp seeds for some additional protein and other great nutrients. This is something that you can also make in batches. You can mix a bunch of your salads in advance and then just mix together the proteins and the salad on the day of your meal. Another great option are soups. There are a lot of great soups to eat. Things like split pea soups or red lentil soups or brown or green lentil soups. You can also have squash soup or vegetable soup as well and add in some quinoa for some additional texture and protein. Other ideas are gluten-free pasta salad, where you can add in some apple cider vinegar and some oil to make a vinaigrette. Add in again your favorite protein and some veggies for the beautiful nutrients. You can also just add in, make a mixture of grains, some vegetables, and again a protein source. So you can try rice or quinoa or even oat groats if you can get them gluten-free, and then add in your favorite protein, whether that's a meat source, fish, or a vegetarian source like beans, chickpeas, lentils. You can also do lettuce wraps, and you can make these really filling by adding in things like hummus and quinoa and cooked sweet potatoes, as well as beans, chickpeas, and lentils, and adding a vinaigrette to make it tasty. And there's lots of ways you can make it easy as well. Make up huge batches of grains, and then you have them to mix up to create into salads or to add with your favorite protein for a warm meal. You can also cook up your protein in advance if you're making some chicken or your beans or lentils. You can cook them up in advance and again have them to just mix in really easy. Another thing you can do is you can cook up some of your vegetables in advance. So make up a huge batch of sweet potatoes and then you can mix them in to your salads or into your warm meals or into your lettuce wraps. So there's lots of ways that you can make things easy, and it doesn't take a lot more time to cook 1 cup of rice versus 3 cups of rice. So try it out, and I'd love to hear back how it goes for you. Dinner time! Now, dinner is also a great place where you can have the combination of a grain, a protein, and a mixture of vegetables, where you can add in different spices. You can make it Indian with some Indian spices and a coconut type of curry. You can also use some Thai spices and make a Thai flavored curry. This is also another great place to have soups. You can make black bean soups as well. And then here's a time when you can make some great burgers. Make black bean burgers or chickpea burgers. You can also make patties out of various grains, millet and rice, and add in some vegetables as well and some gluten-free flour for binding. It's another great place to make different stir fries of vegetables. I love mixing things like kale and cabbage and all sorts of other greens and onion and garlic together. If you enjoy ginger, you can mix that in as well to give some spice and flavor to your meal. And again, make up large batches of grains, so it's easy just to mix in. You can make your burgers out of them, add them into soups or stir fries, or even make a salad if you want to have a cold salad for dinner. There's a lot of options, and you can duplicate a lot for what you make for lunch and for dinner as well. And another option is also a gluten-free pasta. Now, usually on a food elimination diet and or a cleanse, you don't want to overindulge in the flours, but there's so many different gluten-free pastas available right now, made of chickpeas and black beans and just straight up brown rice pasta. So there's lots of different options out there for you. Some are made with quinoa as well. So check it out, try them out, and you'll likely find a gluten-free pasta that you can enjoy. And as well, if you're making beans, this is also another great thing, an easy thing to make up in advance. They're really quick if you make them up in the Instant Pot. All you have to do is soak them during the day and then put them on as soon as you get home, and they're ready by the time dinner is on the table. You can also do it in a traditional slow cooker by soaking them overnight and putting them on during the day, and they're ready once you get home. Now on to snacks. This is often a place of trouble for people. They can't grab the types of snacks that they're used to, which are often filled with sugar and wheat. So what do you do instead? Now, snacks might take a little bit more time and resourcefulness, but there's lots of really yummy options. So an easy option is just something like hummus and vegetables. You can also make your own nut balls or nut-based crackers. You can also make gluten-free biscuits or have veggies or a fruit plate with some nuts. You can also just take some vegan protein powder, mix that up with a dairy-free milk, and if you want you can add in some berries as well and mix those all together. And you can also go back to your porridges. Quinoa porridge oatmeal is also a great snack. So try it out and get creative. There's lots of options if you just let yourself explore a bit. Now I hope that you've enjoyed this video and it's given you some ideas of different types of foods that you can enjoy on your food elimination diet. I've also posted below a link where you can get a sample menu and some bonus recipes that you can try out so you have an idea of what a food elimination diet menu could look like over the course of a few days. And if you're interested in doing a food elimination diet, but you're not quite sure how to put one together or how to deal with challenges that come up in your eyes, then I have something for you that you might be really interested in. I have developed a cleanse that is based on the principles of the food elimination diet and avoids those major food triggers for a course of time. And this cleanse incorporates, in addition to the food elimination diet, it also incorporates practices to reduce your stress and experience more relaxation. Because our bodies cannot heal if we're in a state of stress, anger, anxiety, or other negative emotions. So it's really important to address these emotions and to not only support the physical healing of your body, but to support the emotional healing of your body as well. Within the cleanse, you also have the opportunity to get personalized support from me, so that if you're experiencing challenges within your food elimination protocol, if cravings arise, if a social occasion is coming up and you're not sure how to deal, then you have support from me individualized to your situation, where we work one-on-one to deal and overcome any challenges you're dealing with. So if this is interesting to you, then I've posted a link with more information about the cleanse below. Go check it out, and if you have any questions at all, please contact me. Now, I hope this information has been useful to you. If you've enjoyed this video, please press the like button below and also share with any friends who you believe could benefit from this information as well. And stay tuned for next week's episode. I hope to catch you then. Bye bye.